from India. This is my wildcard video submission for GBB 2024.
Waiting for the fire. Ooh. Waiting for desire. Ooh. I'm far from lights. I'm far from lights. I'm far. Waiting for the backup.
Wow. All
What
right.
do you say? What do you say to that?
Dude, every time I watch this guy, he has one of the strangest kind of styles I've ever seen. It is like, in essence, it is very ambitious, and that's what I always like categorize it as. The ideas that flows through this guy's head and the way that he like portrays, like eventually like films it and portrays it on camera is one of the most odd but super satisfying and most ambitious beatbox routines I've ever heard. And this is like another one of them, I think. I don't even know how to like talk about him because he's so out there, you know what I mean? Like he's so different. But he has some of the most crazy sounds I've ever heard in the beatbox scene, and the way he utilized it here, bro. That one portion, I know you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what to call that sound. It's almost like it's like a click roll, I guess maybe, but it's almost like his own unique variant of it, if that makes sense. He was able to like, wow, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. He was able to like, I don't even know. He was able to like push it outwards and like almost like fast forward it and rewind it like a fucking movie. It was pretty crazy, bro. Anyway, that was like super sick, super ambitious, super unique. I wasn't too sure about the beginning, to be quite honest. I thought the melodies fell a little bit flat. I felt like he could have used like a little bit more power in the melodies, like the vocalized melodies. But other than that, man, that's not really what I'm here for him. Like I know when I see an ABX video, it's always going to be something crazily innovative, very out of left field, unexpected, and that's definitely what I got from him here. So, what do you think?
Like, I'll start with like the sound. The sound that you're like asking about is called a bone roll. It's a variant of click roll. It's click roll in a mouth position, or like a slizzer roll in a mouth position. People learn it differently. I can't do it. But the control he has over that sound alone, he invented that sound, I think. And then the control he has over it is like no other. It's because it works in the same way a click roll does. If I do like that, the way that it's the same control wise. So if I was doing but way better and way more powerful. It's an insight into the sort of ridiculousness of this guy's control. And this guy, he is every wild card he makes, to me, gives me an entirely new perspective on what beatboxing is. Because he's like one of the very few beatboxers where I can tell you, like, nothing he does anyone else can do. Simple, full stop. Ice, I've heard people can learn Ice's sounds. He's very unique, but people can learn them. No one does it like ABX. No one has the mind of ABX. And I think his mind and like his creative approach is worth so much more than what people give credit for. Just in general, not like anyone in particular. Like he doesn't do any of the norms of beatbox. He doesn't follow any of the sort of things you'd expect. And this wildcard proves that again, after his many other provings of that. I really liked the melody in the beginning, personally, but I understand what you mean. I think it sets a really nice tone for the drop that comes. It's like a very solemn track for me. I got like a very sort of, like a mist over a dark sort of outscape. That's what I got from this track. And the intro sort of acts as a way to solidify that. So when people hear it, they're like, okay, this is a solemn track. Drop comes in, dark, feels darker because he set it up with the vocal. Yeah, just everything he does from start to finish, like it's the definition of innovation. He's a genius. His mindset towards it, his execution, it's not always perfect, but he is a genius in beatbox, and there will come a time when he fully comes into his own style a bit more. He fully appeals to people. There will be a time when that happens, and he will appeal more to people, and that's when he will be appreciated for what he truly is, in my opinion, personally.
Yep, absolutely, you nailed it. You see this, you can kind of see his aspirations, you can kind of see his vision. There's just some areas that is just not 100% there yet, but you can see it. And he is so unique, so, yeah, he just doesn't follow the traditional kind of trends, the traditional kind of structures, setups of beatboxing, modern day beatboxing. He is his own kind of entity in the beatbox scene, and that is very beneficial, I think, especially in a battle kind of scene, right? Because it makes you stand out, for one, a lot more, and is also very interesting and very pleasing to kind of listen to things you haven't really heard before. I always describe it as ambitious, which is like, in the way that I'm using it, it's a good way. So I want to see the complete version of him when he has everything figured out, which I think he's very close, because every single time I hear him, he has all the makeup of it, but there's always like one or two things I think I can find in his wildcards that I just feel like if he did it a little bit better, it would be an absolute perfection. But every time I do hear him, he gets closer and closer to like what I have in my own vision of him. Whether or not his vision is what he wants it to be, and that's the product that we got, I'm unsure. But think about beatbox, just any craft that you work on, you can always have room for improvement, right? So, with that being said, this is a very unique wildcard. It's one of those wildcards that I'm really unsure how like the judges will see this. I can see the judges having the kind of opinion of you and me, but I can also see the side of the judges that are going to be like, yeah, this is not quite it yet. You know what I mean? It's just so out there, right? It's not
yeah.
It's very black and white, if that makes sense.
I've got a feeling that it won't pass for the reasons that we've said. Like, as in, it's one of them that's like, it's so unique that it couldn't. Not it couldn't. Of course it could. I really hope it does. But I feel like there'll be too many wild cards that do exactly what the judges want for this wild card to be overshadowed. And like that sort of, if D'Lo was watching this, he would appreciate it in the same way we are, because from watching his reactions, I can see that that's the sort of thing he gravitates towards, like originality and true artistry. Whereas I don't know. Another judge might feel that this doesn't match what GBB is looking for, and I can see that. I'd be really interested to see how he is on stage. I've seen there's one competition he did that's on video, and I watched that. I think it was Indian Champs. And he won. And he had a very strange style on stage as well. He kept it very. He didn't hold back on the weirdness just because he's on stage. And so if he did get into GBB and he did like an elimination or he was in battles, I think he would be the most interesting beatboxer to watch of any on stage. Because I have not got a clue how he would be.
Especially like a stage like GBB, right?
Yeah.
Where like all the eyes are on him, a bigger crowd, better kind of sound system for the most part. So, good production. So it'd be very interesting to see how a crowd would receive him.
Yeah.
In an offline setting. But yeah, there would be only one way to find out, and that's to get through. And that is not an easy task. It is the most prestigious event, and especially kind of the format that they're doing now, where they don't have as many eliminations nowadays, less wildcard spots. So even crazier for Loop Station, but that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, anything else to say, bro?
Nah, I think we've summed it up in words in the way that words can.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video here. Again, be very interesting to see what ABX could possibly do on a stage if given the opportunity. But at the end of the day, who knows? A lot more to come out. Well, maybe not a lot. It is getting very close to the time limit here, but at least I haven't seen a lot of them. So, as far as my opinion goes, I don't really know. So we'll have to find out whenever I make my own little list, I guess. So. All right, if you want to support ABX, though, you leave a like on his video. Link's in the description to the original video. Go check it out. If you want to leave him a sub on his channel as well, link is in the description to that. If you want to support me, though, you can leave a like on this video. You can sub to my channel. Check out my Discord channel as well. Links in the description to that. And Deity.
Deity_tracks on Instagram, and DE!TY in all caps on streaming platforms.
And other than that, we'll see you in the next beatbox reaction video.